Alright, we just installed the Sidewinder motor onto our 134 volt 12x8 build. This build has had a Superflux high torque on it, a 6-inch. So definitely curious. I think we lose 3 pounds, but we should keep around the same torque in theory. Thermals are a little bit worse, but there's no universe where I overheat 6-inch Superflux, so no concern for me. So far, street first impressions, feels pretty good. Guess we'll do a little speed test real quick. This thing feels super smooth.
32 miles per hour. 34 miles per hour.
Yeah, I mean, super chill duty there. I don't even know what I hit, like not even 70, and I almost went 35. Yeah, so that's for sure a top speed improvement over the high torque 5-inch and 6-inch. Now I'm going a little
30
bit
miles
uphill.
per hour. 30 miles per hour. 31.
Yeah, I'm going uphill gradient. I'm not
33.
Yeah, that's crazy. Super windy right now too. I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, super chill on duty. That's nice. So I'm thinking this thing will be a perfect combo of torque and speed, because the high torque motor limits my speed a little bit more than I would like. Now I'm on my tune. That should feel more normal. Whew. So those that don't know, this is my neighborhood trail. Super techy. Video does no justice to it. Ooh. And the grip is also terrible, and I'm going uphill right now. Oh God. What the? Haven't been up here since one of the last rains. Got a little overgrown. I mean, so far, first impressions, feels great. I wish I had a Pioneer tire so I could really push and see what the torque is like, because this Burris 12.8 has no grip. Like when I lose speed like that, trying to get back up to speed, it's just like, no, you're gonna have to go slower. Whew. Again, this is super uphill, hard to tell. Yeah, this thing just has plenty of torque for me, for sure. I've been on the 5-inch Superflux high torque for a few months now as a beta tester, and the power upgrade coming from Hypercore, I didn't know I needed it. I was just reluctant to upgrade to Superflux because I don't like the weight of the heavy Superfluxes. Yeah, this thing feels awesome. But this one is, it looks like this one is, whew, whew. Jeez. All right, so it looks like this motor is 3 pounds lighter than 6-inch Superflux, and the 5-inch Superflux is 5 pounds lighter. So this one is actually 2 pounds heavier than the 5-inch Superflux on my scale. So it actually seems like the 5-inch Superflux is like basically Hypercore weight. So this is actually a nice in-between as far as how much copper they're able to fit in the motor. Added a little bit of weight, but at the cost of amazing thermals. Thermals on here are better than the 5-inch Superflux, better than S-Series Hypercore. The only thing, we actually don't know how it compares to Canon Core. I suspect it's going to be very close to Canon Core V2, and V3 might beat it. But that motor's also a pound heavier. Whew. But the 6-inch Superflux does outperform thermally. But I've never overheated a 6-inch Superflux, so that doesn't even matter for me. Oh, whoa. Yeah, so far, I mean, feels amazing. Like I said, I'm going straight uphill right now. And my only limiter is grip. This thing is super torquey. I'm sure my temps aren't even high at all. Yeah, I'm at 50C. Ooh. Ooh. I've actually never ridden this trail on 12x8, so I don't really have a good reference point. I don't like the 12x8 that much, especially on trails like this. It's just, it's a lot to maneuver. But so far, I would say the 3-pound savings, it definitely feels less bouncy, which is one of my main things with the 12x8. It's so bouncy with the heavy motor, the big sidewall. It's even bouncier than my 5-inch BTG, just because it's so much heavier. Even though it has, oh my god, what is going on? Nobody's been up here lately, I guess. Also, everyone was saying it's kind of noisy. It was like at low speed when I'm like crawling. It's a little bit, oh god. It's a little bit noisier than some other motors, I guess. But compared to the XL, it's actually not very loud at all. I was hoping it was going to have like a new sound to it, like people were saying, but I don't really notice anything different. Like I said, very steep. I'd put the remote down for 1 second and I lose it. Oh, also I'm on an overlander on the rear because I was in such a hurry to get out here before sunset and such. That's a little bit different than I'm used to, but the outlifters feel pretty good on this board. They're the XR outlifters with no spacers, and they're really nice. Got a good hook to them. The outlifters. See why Gary likes them so much. Whew. Oh, my bolts are coming loose. I didn't put the provided Loctite on because I was in such a hurry, I forgot to. Then I didn't get to tighten them too much. Whew. But yeah, first impressions. Temps are 60C, so actually got pretty warm. I mean, obviously it's fine. And it's not really climbing anymore. But it was a little bit warmer than I expected with how well it was doing on the open loop testing. But like I said, I'm never gonna actually overheat it. All right, time to go down. So yeah, for those that don't know, basically what they did is they just extended it width-wise and made it the same circumference. So they're gonna be able to make a 5-inch. They just need to make a whole new 5-inch hub because their stator is actually bigger. So obviously it's not going to fit in the hypercore hubs, unfortunately. But it's only 500 bucks, which is less than I paid for my first 5-inch hub that I put a regular hypercore in. So I ended up paying like, I don't know, $600 or something for that, and then the motor, hypercore, another 100, 200 bucks for a way worse motor than what we're getting with these 5-inch Superflux and with this Sidewinder. Whew. But the Sidewinder actually added more weight than the Superflux 5-inch. So they're able, and the axle, I haven't mentioned the axle yet. The axle is just completely filled in, super thick, thickest axle ever. And oh god, those bushes distracted me. Oh yeah, so the thick axle, they're able to dissipate heat a lot better and hold heat a lot better. So obviously that ends up being a huge cooling advantage, as well as the extra copper, the 2 extra pounds of copper over the 5-inch Superflux and the stator hypercore. Huge difference. Woo. And those that haven't seen the FOC open loop test with a bunch of the motors on there, showing the Sidewinder just outperforming everything other than 6-inch Superflux. Guess I'll throw that up. Definitely worth seeing. Super impressive what they were able to do with this thing. And it's for the bike, so they also made the wire gauge sticker, which I don't think we've ever had on a motor. It should help just a little bit of the responsiveness, resistance, all that electrical things. But yeah, basically they made a super sick motor for the Wheelie Fun Bike that's overkill for one-wheeling, which is what we need. Better motors, because we were so limited with the S-Series Hypercore thermally throttling a lot of people, as well as torque throttling a lot of people. Now that I've been on the better torque motors, I really see how limiting those Hypercores can be. And then a lot of people are having problems with the 5-inch Superflux overheating, and this one is definitely better. My 5-inch Superflux prototype has been in line with S-Series mostly, real world and open loop testing. And the Sidewinder beats the S-Series every time, basically. Like, it's not even close. So even on the 5-inch Superflux best day, it's still not beating this thermally, which makes sense. Thicker axle, 2 pounds heavier, all that. Oh my god, my bolts are super loose. A little speed section. Woo! Yeah, this thing's got the power. Yeah, I mean, pretty much knew what to expect. Been talking to Nico about it and stuff for a little bit. Been waiting for it to come out. I wasn't actually planning on getting it because I don't really ride my 12x8 too much. Basically, not at all. But I think some races this year, like Seek and Shred, I think it'll be dumb not to be on 12x8 possibly. We'll see how the course ends up looking. They're going to add some features to Seek and Shred this year, so it's not just going to be straight bombing down the fire road. But I think if we were bombing down the fire road, you'd want this to be hitting 40. BBTG Pioneer is still my favorite tire though. Not even close. But yeah, so my main thing with the 6-inch Superflux, just so heavy. So obviously, when I saw that there was about similar torque motor with 3 pounds lighter that I could replace it with and basically break even, I was like, all right, well, might as well try it. And so far, I am not disappointed. I'm taking it a little easier now because my bolts are completely loose. I don't know if you can hear. That would you hear there? Oh my god, so bad. I'm actually not even gonna go that way out. But yeah, I mean, I knew what to expect, but it's still super impressive. Ooh. Super torquey, but also has a better top speed than the other torque motors. And it actually tested with a better saturation point than the Superflux 6-inch, which is crazy, because that one should definitely have more copper. Ooh. So I'm curious, once I throw 200 amps at it with some saturation comp, what it really feels like juiced up. My buddies run 200 amps on their Cannon cores and their Superflux if they can get away with it. 180 is the highest I've run on a 6-inch Superflux, and I definitely had to tune some crunch out. But yeah, I just rode this board actually, so I have a decent comparison. I haven't ridden it here, but I just rode it at Vail, my favorite trail system, because my other board was still broken. I already got a 5-inch Superflux to replace my broken one from Let It Ride, but I had to ride this in the meantime. And yeah, just first impressions, it definitely feels just a little bit more maneuverable, which is what I was hoping for. because this 12x8 is just so hard to maneuver, and then that extra weight, it was just like, oh my god, literally can't see. I literally can't see where I'm going. But yeah, the extra weight plus the giant tire, it was just so hard for me to ride on single track compared to my Pioneer. The Pioneer is super stable when I want it to be, and then also very maneuverable when I want it to be, especially on the lighter weight. I had it on the Hypercore and then the 5-inch Superflux, which are basically the same weight. And that board is way more maneuverable. Even the, God, I'm gonna roll my ankle just walking. Even the XL felt way more maneuverable for me than the 12x8 with 6-inch Superflux. I'm gonna take this to the same trail that I've done a bunch of testing on, hogback, switchback. I'm gonna take this over there, see how I compare to my old 12x8 time with the 6-inch Superflux. See if I can whip it around just a little bit harder now, especially when I throw my foothold on the back as well. Definitely going to be a fun little test, because last time my motor was so heavy and the 12x8 I wasn't used to it. I was literally at like 180 BPM heart rate running that segment on this setup. I think now I have a little bit more time on the tire, and then plus this weight savings, should be able to put up a much more accurate time. Alright, well, it appears this board wasn't charged, because I am at 37%. So I guess I'm not going to do another speed test. But I definitely, looks like I could hit like 40 under 80 duty cycle if I really like feathered it on this downhill, which is absurd. Definitely that sweet spot of torque and speed and weight and thermals. I mean, obviously, you know, it's Float Life, they're always making the best shit. But yeah, I mean, first impressions, amazing. Lightweight, good thermals, good torque, good speed. Yep. I have a link in the description or something, 5% off, save a good 25 bucks on it. Alright, see you guys at the test at Hogback Switchback.